In this lesson, we'll talk about project units and overrides thereof. Let's just open up a sample architectural project that comes with our Revit 2017. So we're talking about units, millimeters, meters, inches, feet, feet, square meters, all that good stuff. So the units that we use within the project are in fact project specific. So each project can have its own units. When you go to dimension or tag or create an area or whatever we want to do, it will reflect those project units. If we want to override it, we can override it. So let's just zoom in, open up a second floor plan. Okay. And if we zoom in over here and we pick on a floor and we look at the properties, look what it says: area, square meters, etc. Okay. That's because right now our project units are set so that area is at square meters. If I go and add a dimension in over here, okay, and then zoom in, and then I click to place it, and then I hit modify or escape, we're seeing millimeters, okay? Now, what happens is there's the global project setting, and then there's individual overrides. Just because the project is set to be metric doesn't mean my dimensions have to be metric or my area has to be metric. I can have a metric project with imperial dimensions and vice versa. So you can mix it up all you want, and it works really quite nice. And it actually makes you able to work in both imperial and metric simultaneously in the same project. And it works, pretty good. You can flip-flop back and forth and never a problem. You don't have to rescale anything or do anything. So project units, by default, under manage, if we go up to here, we see project units. So length is in millimeters, area is in square meters, volume is in cubic meters, angles are in degrees instead of radians or degrees, minutes, and seconds. For instance, a survey. Currency, slope is maybe I want my slope to be rise over 12 instead of a degree slope. Okay, and in the project, I'm going to say, no, I don't want my linear stuff to be millimeters. I want it to be meters. And I want it to be 2 decimal places of a meter. And I want it to say M afterwards. Hit OK. Hit OK. And my dimensions will probably change because I would think they're set to follow the project units. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to pull it up. Okay. Now I'm going to say create similar, which means, I want another dimension just like this. But before I do it, I'm going to go into edit type, and it's called diagonal to, and this is the size. I'm going to duplicate that and give it a different name. Okay. Now it has a different name. And I'm going to go down to that dimension style and say unit format is default, meaning follow the project units. So I'm going to say, no, I don't want to follow the project units. I want this to be in feet and fractional inches to the quarter inch and suppress 0 feet. So if it's 0 feet, 4 inches, I just want it to say 4 inches. So I'm going to override, hit OK, hit OK. And now I'm going to place a dimension in here, okay, like that. Escape on the keyboard. So this is following the project units. This has got its own independent units override. So you can do that with any dimension. Area is set to be square meters. Let's change that. Let's go to our project units. Let's go to area and say, no, I want my area in square feet. Hit OK, done, done. Now when I pick on this floor, it's going to say the area is in square feet. The perimeter is in still meters. The volume is in meters cubed, but I changed the area setting for my project units to be in square feet. So we have our global project units here, and then you'll notice with different tags and things that show numbers and units, go in and look at the properties of it, and you'll be able to go down and scroll down, and it'll say in there override project units. And you can also have two sets of units. You can have alternative units. Clicking on here, I can go in here and say, okay, the top is good with the default, but now I'm going to say I want alternate units below, and I want my alternate units to be in fractional inches. Hit OK and OK and watch what it'll do. Okay. This one shows me a unit on the top, which is following my project units. And then on the bottom, it's giving me an alternative, which is in inches. So 288 inches is 7.32 meters. So quite often what I'll do is I'll do this while I'm working, just because I want to know both. I'm in Canada and we flip-flop back and forth all the time. So I want to know both, because the building code is metric, but the construction is imperial. It's a pain in the butt. And then what I'll do in the end is, once I'm ready to say print, I'll just go to my modify tab and I'll say, okay, in the end, I really do want imperial. So I'll use my paint option. I'll say, take this and make this like that right at the last minute. But in the meantime, while I'm working, I can hide them or erase them, but I can have a dimension that shows both unit types until I decide not to see them. So project units and project unit overrides.